I met Jim back in 2011 in Libya, towards the beginning of the Libyan revolution. I met him in Benghazi. It was very easy to become friends with him. He's a very easygoing, friendly guy. And, we were covering the battle for Sirte very closely. So we stayed in touch a lot. In June and July, we started traveling and working together because we decided that two people in a team was better than traveling alone and working alone. And we also felt comfortable with each other work-wise. We had the same train of thought on things, and we wanted to cover the similar things. So we never really had conflicting interests, and that was very helpful to establishing a work relationship between us. And since the end of May, June, we've been traveling in and out of Syria more than half a dozen times together, going to Reef Idlib and to Aleppo provinces. I think Jim is a very cool-headed guy. He always thinks before he makes a move or speaks, and between us, it was very grounding for me to have that person there because I knew that I could rely on him. And he was very dedicated and very passionate about covering Syria and covering the stories as an objective journalist and, spending as much time there as possible so that he could understand the story a lot better. I was due to meet him when he came out on November 22nd on Thanksgiving Day, but I didn't hear from him, and I was in touch with him a few hours before he was taken, and I knew that something was up immediately when he didn't turn up in Turkey, a few hours past the meeting time. I was directly in contact with his family. They've obviously been having a difficult time because they miss him a lot. They just want him home. But when something like this happens, obviously it's very tough on the families. So for 6 weeks, they decided that it would be best to not have it reported in the media. But since there's been very little information coming out, they decided to go public with a Free James Foley campaign. And they've asked the public to sign an appeal on freejamesfoley.org website. And it's basically an appeal for the release of their son, to come home safely and to make them know that he is an objective journalist doing his job.